Revolutionary greetings, comrades. Professor Jonathan Moyo came under fire on Twitter when he spoke about the lack of political structures in the opposition. Of course, Professor Jonathan Moyo is not my friend, but I sometimes agree with his political analysis. And he is correct that a political movement contesting elections that has no political structures is unlikely to win. And we made this observation in 2018. And we are saying this because, as you would know, that the working class support Triple C. It's a reality. Ourselves were building the vanguard, which is an organ of the working class and peasantry. And we have said that in Zimbabwe, peasant support ZANU-PF and the working class support Triple C. It is a reality. So our members or sympathizers who are working class are very likely to vote for Triple C in the 2023 elections. This is a reality that we must face. Even though, as a party, we are not in alliance with the Triple C. And we agree with the ZANU-PF, especially when it was under Mugabe, on its anti-imperialist stance. But we have given reasons why it had to take that trajectory to be anti-imperialist. We have spoken about its historical formation. But in terms of its international solidarity with the people of Palestine, even though they have an ambassador in Israel, which of course is a contradiction. But in the progressive world, ZANU-PF is seen as a party that stands out and contributes in the fight against imperialism. But because the opposition, Triple C in particular, does not have political structures in this village, it is going to be difficult for it to win Umzingwane constituents in 2023. Yes, there are people that support Triple C that I've met in the village. I've been talking to villagers, we've been talking politics. But they are afraid to come out in the open because the community structures here are led by ZANU-PF people. We've discussed about the issue of registration for war collaborators and the ex-detainees for them to receive their compensation. It is led by ZANU-PF people. And every community structure, you have ZANU-PF leading. People who are, of course, from our village are leading those structures. Then those that support the opposition in this village, they are scared to mobilize and establish structures. While Triple C will receive votes in this village and in the entire of Umzingwane constituency, I doubt that they will be able to win. It's unlike when it was the MDC campaigning, particularly in 2000, 2005, 2008. You will see MDC activists wearing their t-shirts here. You will see them canvassing for support. You did have political structures of the MDC at that time in this village. But with the Triple C, those structures are not there. So if the MDC grassroots structures were not turned into Triple C structures, and the people here who are Triple C will only be summoned to some rallies outside this village, it will be difficult for them to win in this in this village and in the entire constituency of Umzingwane. I'm not talking about the rest of Matabele South or even Matabele North. I'm just talking about here in my village and then Umzingwane, my village, Ward 4. The councillor here from Toyana is a ZANU-PF. The MP from Bonjeni, Honorable Maihlome, is a ZANU-PF. I do not see that energy of campaigning in the village and of establishing these grassroots structures to an extent that you will think that this constituency in 2023 will be won over by the opposition. And I know you'll be asking me, what about the Zimbabwe Communist Party? As I've already said, that we're building a vanguard. We're not an electoral-based party. We're building a vanguard, not building a mass movement. Yes, we might some years become a large party, just like the South African Communist Party, but for now we're small. And we did promise you that we will talk to comrades in Kenya about their own experiences, the Communist Party of Kenya, or the Kenyan Communist Party, in the elections which are happening, I think it's the 9th of August. We wanted to talk to them before the elections, but because I'm traveling, so we thought we'll speak to them after the election so that we can then draw lessons from their own experiences as the Communist Party of Kenya in terms of their experiences in contesting an election. What did they learn? What are the lessons for us when we talk about electoral politics? Something which, of course, was also discussed at the South African Communist Party Congress. So we will speak to comrades after the elections, comrades from Kenya. They are communists, because we need to draw lessons. But I'm saying, in this village, not that we support Triple C. We do not support Triple C. I'm not a member of Triple C, and I will not be a member of Triple C. But I'm the General Secretary of the Vanguard, the Zimbabwe Communist Party. The working class support Triple C. It's a reality. So we need to have this conversation about political structures at grassroots level. Jonathan Moyo was called names because there are some in the opposition who do not want to accept constructive criticism. I might be insulted as well, but of course I don't care. It's important to accept constructive criticism. And Professor Jonathan Moyo, what he did was what we call constructive criticism. Because as I look around here, I've been moving around in the village, talking to old people, talking to those that I went to school with, those that are still in the village, talking to young people. I've gone to watch soccer here when they were training local boys. We're having this discussion in the village about 2023. This is why I'm saying, based on the discussions that we have been having, I do not see the opposition winning here. I was asking about the councillor for candidate for the opposition. Up to now, I do not know who they are fielding as a council candidate in Ward 4. So they might return the ZANU-PF councillor. And you know, if the ZANU-PF councillor is returned in Ward 4, it means the ZANU-PF MP will be retained or is likely to be retained. And of course, there's a new development in the village, which I noticed. There is a new village that is being constructed. I will not, at this stage, throw names of people that are behind this. But there's a new village, a new settlement on the south, on the northern side of Mbizingwe Primary School in the fields. People are now building in the fields. On the Mbizingwe side and Doyana side, new settlement is taking place. I'm told the majority of these people that are coming to settle here, they are not from Umzingwane district. Someone is bringing them from outside the Umzingwane district or outside Ward 4. And their loyalty in terms of voting will be on the person who brought them into the ward. So slowly, I think there is also some kind of bringing new voters into the ward to dilute the voting in this ward. Because if someone takes me, say, to Ngai, they give me a nice plot where there's water, I will pay. My loyalty will be to the person who will have provided me with that piece of plot. And I'm likely to vote for the party that they belong to. And I guess this is what the new people that are coming in this new settlement. If you are from Ward 4, you will know that Emasimini, Mbizingwe, Doyana, they are new. There is a new settlement. We know New Adams Farm that we have dealt with previously, Gokamen, but this new area, Masimini, there is a new settlement that is taking place. And the people are brought in by people that are linked to a political party, and we know how these people are going to vote. So a political party, as I conclude, a political party that contests elections, first and foremost, it must have political structures in communities. Without political structures in communities, kuyabe kuyisivunguzane. Isivunguzane njengoba ngisentabeni lapha, isivunguzane siyabuya siphephuka ngisithatha i-camera stand yami lapha ngiyibambe sidlule. So isivunguzane political movement ngaba isivunguzane kuyavunguza vunguze kudlule. And kungadlula sekudlulile. So that's something that if Triple C is serious about state power, it must be serious about grassroots political structures. It must not be serious about the politics of cultism, where the leader is elevated above the movement. Because Nelson Chamisa cannot not win the presidency if he does not have in Ward 4 Umzingwane district a non-person who is the face of the party as a council candidate. I don't know how he's going to win, because I don't think he will win. Because the mistake, I said as I'm concluding, now I'm concluding, the mistake that the opposition makes, when results are announced in Harare and Bulawayo, they think that they won elections. They will announce in Harare East, opposition has won all the wards, and the constituency, opposition has won all the wards in Makokoba, in the constituency, in Mkoba, in Kweru, and the people think that they've won. No. Most voters are in rural areas, because we know that rural votes get into the National Command Center later than the urban votes. So, yeah, that's something that the opposition must think hard about it. As Lara City, you must think until it hurts. So, without political structures, you will not attain state power, unless, of course, you do what the military did. But the opposition doesn't have that luxury. It doesn't have that institution, the military. So we'll be correct in our analysis that after 2023, whoever is going to be fielded by ZANU-PF will emerge victorious. Of course, there are talks about what is happening ahead of the ZANU-PF Congress, but whoever finally becomes the presidential candidate for ZANU-PF is going to win. Otherwise, comrades, please like this video. Let's have this conversation. Where you stay, does the main opposition, or to be specific, Triple C, have political grassroots structures to an extent that it will win 2023 elections? Please write your views in the comment section. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Otherwise, have a great day. Goodbye. Amandla.